My name is Sarah Jacobus, and I'm in my concentration year, my final year in the MSW program, the School of Social Work here at USC. And this past summer, 2010, I participated in the Summer Global Immersion Program in China. Which was a really special experience for me. My connection with China and with the program is both personal and also connected to what I want to do as a social worker. The focus was on Eastern perspectives on aging. Our focus was a combination of looking at sort of an academic perspective, a research-based perspective on aging issues in China, but also the opportunity for international exchange with students, which was a very exciting part of the program. And generally, I think it was an exciting time to be in China focusing on aging issues because China, like the United States, is facing a population explosion of older adults. In fact, China has the fastest growing population of older adults in the world. So part of our program was spent in classrooms. We visited 4 different universities in Beijing and Fudan University in Shanghai, where we would spend the morning watching very complicated PowerPoints. Then each of these presentations would be followed by pairs of us from our program who would facilitate an exchange with students looking at sort of comparing and contrasting these issues between China and the United States. And that was the part that, for me, really held the energy. And one of the things also that I think was interesting to our Chinese colleagues was how diverse a group we were. That we were Latino and Jewish and European American, and that just within our group of 11 students there were so many different cultural perspectives and cultural traditions that we had been raised with and that we bring to bear on our perspective on elders and on family relationships and on responsibility for family, and that you can't paint the United States with one brush. And I think that was something that was of great interest to learn on the part of our Chinese colleagues. I enjoy being a tourist. I love being a tourist actually in many ways, but I also really like visiting places where there's a deeper connection, to have a deeper experience of a place. And that was certainly one of the reasons that I wanted to do this program. And I think that for many of the students in the group, it was not my first trip to China. It was for many of the students in the group, and it was very exciting to see and to experience together a very new place and a different culture and the kinds of challenges that come up, whether it's navigating the subway or going out to dinner on your own and figuring out a way to order dinner when you don't speak the language, or all of those kinds of things. But also having the opportunity to talk to people and spend time with people who live there and establish connections that, in whatever way possible, will be enduring. Given the global culture that we live in, a lot of which occurs electronically, which is great, and the immediacy of that is great, but there is no substitute for person-to-person connection. And the way in which that builds bridges, to use the cliche, but just the ways that we learn about each other that really aren't possible unless you're, sitting over lunch with someone and having the opportunity to really share and find out about others. For the most part, the time was quite structured. A man who is a PhD student in the School of Social Work, who is native Chinese, really handled a lot of the logistics of setting up appointments, and then our professor Iris Chi has a lot of contacts in China and had made some of the initial contacts. This was the second year that this program had been offered. And then we also worked in close connection with the China Research Center on Aging, and they made several of their staff people available to us who were sort of our minders during the time that we were in Beijing, and were with us every day on the bus and helped, navigate some of the tricky places and gathered our ID cards to buy tickets and things like that. And the trip was really a nice balance between the focus on the program, the academic program, and the opportunity to see the sights. And one of the things I love to do is just wander the streets and take pictures and talk to people, and there was plenty of time to do that. So it felt like really a nice integration of what we were there to do and explore, and then the opportunity to see and do. With any experience in another country, not everything goes according to plan, and that's part of the experience, is being patient and being flexible, and allowing for those cultural differences in how things go, and which can be a challenge and can also be an adventure.